What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. If you're watching this and you see this amazing vacation outfit and this amazing Corona Corona straw hat that I got at Target for $13.99. What a steal. Definitely a steal. But when you see this, you see the matching fucking brim, you feel me, with the palm trees on the damn shirt. You know what I'm saying? With the fucking what is the chest hair called? The meat? Was it the ground beef, roast beef, turkey meat, something like that? But with the meat showing, in other words, talking about the fucking chest hair popping out, just know that I'm on vacation. Okay. By the time y'all are watching this, by the time this comes out, Wednesday at 7 p.m. is when this is dropping. By the time this comes out, just know I am either drunk as fuck, passed out on a beach, right? Or I am currently explaining to my group of friends that I'm with that getting a tattoo in Cancun at 7 p.m. drunk as fuck is a good idea and trying to sell that. Or I'm trying to do some illegal stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And actually, now that I think about it, someone should probably stop me by now because I'm probably too drunk. And the reason why I'm probably too drunk is because we got the all-inclusive 24/7 alcohol and food. And I prefaced the alcohol before I did the food. Yes, and that's because we paid fucking like $2,000 for it, so we're gonna use it all inclusive, everything. Matter of fact, round of applause. Round of applause for the people that included or invented the inclusivity, if that's a word, in these vacation deal packages, because I know for a fact that we're gonna be using it up, especially with the alcohol. Did I mention that again? By the time this comes out, I'm probably gonna be drunk as shit, passed out. Face up, right? Face up, not ass up, face up. And that's okay, right? I definitely, the more like I think about it, like, you don't know how much of a good deal you got until you start talking to other people about the deal that you got and they start telling you how much of a good deal you got, right? Like I was telling people like, like we're going to Cancun for 5 days and we got everything all together. It was a vacation deal package, right? Hotel, flight, all inclusive, adults only, no kids, unlimited drinks, unlimited food, Diamond Deluxe King room with the jacuzzi in the damn, you know what I mean? Said with the jacuzzi in the room and beachfront view and all these other things and all these amenities and all this stuff that comes with it, right? And we tell them, we spent $2,000 on this, and I'm like, sheesh, I know how much $2,000 is to me. I know how much $2,000 is. I mean, I know the value of $2,000, So when I tell people, I'm like, yo, fucking $2,000, $2,000, and they're like, oh, that's it, or they say, oh, that's a steal, or you got a deal, depending on who you talk to. And it was like, oh damn, maybe we really did get a good deal for $2,000. Again, in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, 2,000, that's 2,000. You feel me? Like, come on, that's 2,000. But apparently, it's a good deal, and I'm glad we jumped on it. Could we have spent a little less? Of course, but that's with anything, right? You can always spend a little less. But how often are you going to vacation, and how often are you going to Cancun? You know what I'm saying? So obviously, we went all out, kind of. I mean, within the means of our budget, went all out. But it was cool. You know what I mean? It's cool. And I never been to Cancun, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. When you see me, because like I said, this is definitely, I took this from the suitcase. Like, this was already packed, but I was like, yo, I gotta let them know. And I'm definitely gonna wear this the entire episode. So maybe I should just put a little bit more up so that way y'all can see the face a little better. Or don't. I don't care. Because again, I'm gonna be on vacation. All right. And this is like, obviously, like, I'm just joking and being, trying to be funny throughout this whole thing. But take your vacations, underrated. Underrated. And to be honest, hypocritical as fuck on my part, because I don't be taking vacations like this. I think the last time I actually took a vacation was when we did the Carnival cruise, and it was like 7 days or something like that, or 5 days. I forget what it was. But it was a Carnival cruise to Mexico too. Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo San Lucas. Those are the places that we went to. So, and that was, what year was that? That had to have been 2017, I want to say. Like 2017, I think that was the last time. 2018, somewhere between, let's just say 2017, 2018. But still, that was the last time I went on like a vacation. That's how many years it's been, I took time off, but I've never been on vacation. You feel me? So like, this is the closest thing that I've had a vacation since the last time I had a vacation. So I'm definitely looking forward to this trip. And like I said, by the time this comes out, I'm gonna be fucking chilling, y'all. When you see me come back tanned the fuck up, mind your business, okay? When you see me with the Mike Tyson tattoo on my face, mind your business, all right? That's all wasted. I'm planning on getting, but it's also I'm just, taking advantage of the whole all-inclusiveness and the all-inclusive amenities that come with that, I should say, and taking advantage of just having the vacation. I don't know why I'm slurring my words so much, maybe because it's the anticipation of going on the trip or messing up my letters. But to be honest, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna edit anything on, and I'm just gonna kind of leave it like the way I'm doing it right now. Sorry. So if the audio doesn't sound too good, or if I'm not making any sense, just know I don't care because I'm gonna be on vacation. All right. Thinking about vacations, I always like think about like where, and maybe I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but am I the only one that when they're planning on this stuff out, and it doesn't have to be vacations, right? It could be planning events, birthdays, parties, weddings, engagements, stuff like that, right? Am I the only one that when we start planning everything, do am I the only one that like thinks about like, yo, this money could have went to something else? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking about like how much money we're spending and been like, this is good. Like we're gonna spend it. It's all good. Like we're having a good time for sure. But then I'm thinking like, yo, could have this gone towards this? You know what I'm saying? Or couldn't we just like put like $500 less and then put that 500 in the savings somewhere? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's like a horrible way to look at it. You know what I mean? Or if that's a bad thing necessarily. Or I don't know why my mind goes there, but a lot of the times I do think like, man, we could have put that money somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I could have upgraded this at the house or use it on upgrading this equipment and everything. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? But maybe it's just because I'm not used to just dropping a bunch of money like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when I did this, starting this whole thing up, the budget for it. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say budget because it's not like I had a actual written budget for everything, but like I knew exactly all the funds that I was going to allocate, and I knew that the equipment that I was going to get and where the main chunk of the budget or the funds for that was going to go to, right? Audio. And then secondary would be video because a lot of podcasts are just audio only, but this podcast is audio and video. So, you know what I'm saying? There's audio equipment, there's the video equipment, there's the lighting equipment, there's a backdropping setup this was just fucking completely blank. Like I'm talking about like just 2x4s and nothing else. So building all this out, learning everything, the programs, the softwares, all that little technical shit that no one cares about. It was all part of the budgeting or the funds. I keep saying budgeting, but it was all part of the allocated funds that I had put aside for that, which I guess would you can define as budgeting, but maybe that's just where my mind goes to too. It's one thing too when you're like planning a bunch of stuff and breaking down all the monies. It's one thing to not get focused so much on the money depending on what you got going on. For example, imagine let's say you're engaged, right? You're newly engaged. Life is great. You're riding this high, fucking high. And then you start planning the actual wedding, right? Then that's when you really start breaking down money stuff and everything. And then you and your partner are like going back and forth. And truth be told, I've seen some engagements like fall apart while planning the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Because of money. I've seen engagements literally like fall the fuck apart while planning for a wedding because of money allocations, money resources, money funding, who's going to pay for what, which family is going to contribute to this. These days don't work out with this, and this person's not willing to compromise. It like those type of things, it all comes back to money. You know what I'm saying? So like it's an interesting thing when we're talking about budgeting and everything. And if my mind is going like that for a vacation trip, just imagine my wedding. Oh my, can you imagine? First we have to actually, get there. So that's already in and of itself like, yo, chill, chill, chill. You know what I'm saying? It's like chill, chill, chill. Let's get through this vacation thing first. But nah, I'm looking forward to the vacation. And I don't know, for whatever reason, recently, and I didn't see this much occurrence all at one time. I saw a bunch of people, right, going, ironically, either to and from Cancun, like within the last months. I'm talking about, I pull up my Instagram, hella people, Cancun coming back to and from. I'm like, yo, is everybody and their moms going to Cancun right now? I'm talking about like homies, internet. I mean, the IG Explorer, close friends. I'm like, yo, y'all are going, and it is definitely worrisome when. Hold on, is this motherfucker racing RC cars outside? What the hell is that? But anyway, one of my homies told me, 'cause we were on the phone talking, and he goes, yeah. I just came back from Cancun, and I go, bro, I'm getting ready to go. This was like last month, and I was like, I'm literally getting ready to go, like in about a month or so, you know. And he's just like, oh, you know when someone hits you with that, oh, there's usually something that follows with it. So I was just like, yo, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, like, you know what I mean? And he just told me, he was telling me that he was there, him, a few friends and everybody, they were just there for a week, right? And he goes, well, where are you staying at? And I told him where we're staying at. And he just goes, oh. And I go, fuck, bro, you hit me with the double oh. What am I supposed to think of? You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me that he didn't stay at the exact same spot that we were at, but he stayed like literally right next door and shit. And he was telling me that I don't know how bad it is now and how ironic everything is, but yo, he said that someone straight up got shot in the head at the resort, which is supposed to be like one of the safest spots, you know? Got shot in the head. And I'm like, yo, how are you gonna tell me this shit like a month before we're going on the trip? I'm still gonna go because it's paid for, you know what I'm saying? But damn, that's like another thing we gotta worry about amongst all the other things that's going on right now in life. But I don't know. I don't know if that's like a yo, you ruining it for me, or if it's just like hey, I appreciate it. I guess I'll just, keep my head on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep my head on the swivel in fucking Cancun while I'm on vacation. Okay. But people say that about like going to Mexico in general. People say that all the time. They say like, oh, if you're gonna go here, if you're gonna go to this place, be careful with the cartel. Be careful with where you go to. Be careful with where you wander off to, right? And I agree. Like, yes and no. For sure, be careful, and definitely be aware of your surroundings and just don't do no dumb shit, But at the same time, you can easily say that about anywhere. You could literally go to a random state, Go to New York for the first time ever. They're gonna tell you the same thing. Go to fucking it's LA area or just SoCal in general. Go there for your first time and apply the same things. Don't watch your surroundings. Do things you're not supposed to do, or just what I'm saying. You get what I'm trying to say. You could add that advice or that thing that they tell you that applies to like everything. It's not just going to Mexico. It just so happens that it's more often over there, and you just got to be careful. Which I'm like for sure, for sure. But don't get it twisted either. I'm definitely gonna like I said, keep my head on a swivel, and I'm definitely not gonna like be anywhere I'm not supposed to or talk to the people I'm not supposed to, and I'm definitely gonna do the right things, and that's for sure. But it's just, I think the biggest thing with that too is it's for whatever reason when people are on vacation mode, they're like, 9 times out of 10 they're just a lot more lenient, a lot more chill. You know what I'm saying? They're on vacation mode, like mindset, right? So they're not really like thinking like about this or like watch out for this, and you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are more lackadaisical. I don't know why. I feel like my hat, this is making me look like Raiden right now. Like I'm about to just fucking fling this shit Mortal Kombat style. But I'll keep it like this because I can kind of see it right here. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be like resorts areas in Mexico too. You go to like the border cities or border towns like Tijuana, Mexicali. It's the same thing. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely want to, see some shit. There's, what do they call it? Explorers, not explorers. When you like venture out, and I'm sure if you guys are listening to this, you're probably like shouting it out, like it's fucking blah blah. I can't hear you. Yeah, it's these. Yeah, basically, essentially these little explore things, adventures that we're gonna go do and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. But enough about the vacation talk. Enough about this. Enough of me trying to stunt on you guys and make you feel bad, while you're at your regular work week. And I'm not, again, drunk as fuck somewhere on a beach trying to get it tattooed, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to convince someone that a tattoo is a good idea right now. But switching from that. So if you've been following, there's this news broke out, I want to say like Tuesdays when I first got these news for everything. And it was about this A legend is like an understatement. This was like an icon. Well, I guess maybe obviously there's some bias in that because he was one of my fucking favorite MMA fighters, but former UFC heavyweight champion Cain motherfucking Velasquez, right? He had a story that's come out. I guess he got charged on Monday. Yeah, on Monday this incident happened. Tuesday was, charged. Wednesday was his formal arraignment, and he got charged with, I mean, there's like 7 to 10 different counts, but I'll just name the first two as like initially charged with attempted murder and then first degree attempted murder, assaulted deadly weapon. And they said it was first degree because it was premeditated. All these different charges that go with it. Reckless driving, fucking, that's probably like the least of them of all. But a long story short, he was targeting this guy, this 40-year-old dude who had been accused, or actually maybe he was even charged with molesting a 4-year-old very close relative. And they're saying that because it's a minor, they don't want to give too much information. There's a lot of speculation saying that like, oh, it's his daughter, and there's other speculation saying it's his son. And then I even heard some other shit today from my barber who was saying like he thinks he heard it was a niece. I don't know. They're just saying close relative, and it was molestation with that, So of course, just like everybody else, there's like splitting hairs from it. There's conflict. There's like sides to this, and who was in the right, who was in the wrong, and it's so fucking tough. It's like realistically, it's not tough, right? I mean, I think universally everybody would agree that molestation or molesting a child is fucking horrible, right? I mean, you have to be like a really bad, shitty person to say otherwise. The thing that they're trying to go back and forth with, or they are going back and forth with, is whether it was justified or not. Was it or was not? Me personally, I'm a father. I know where I stand with it. I know what I would have done, but legally, you have to face, the punishment for it. So like we were just talking about it, and I was saying, there's the right thing and then there's the realistic thing, right? There's two different things. The right thing to do morally or emotionally to be like, dude, get him out, like free him, of course, because he took matters into his own hand. He fucking went out there essentially to defend a close relative of his because they said that this 4-year-old was molested like hundreds of times, minimal 100, by a 40-year-old guy at a daycare center. So emotionally and instinctively, we're like, get this. Of course, free him. He was taking matters into his own hands. But the problem with that is that it's not realistic, right? And realistic is as far as the justice system, which definitely failed him because it let the other dude fucking walk away and go. But that's another conversation. But it's what's realistic being here in California too. Other states are different. Other states you can carry. Other states you can you can get married at 16 in other states. You know what I'm saying? But because we're here in California and because we have the legal system that we have here in California, and because of government, it's just so much other shit that there's a realistic way of things, the way it'll play out, right? And I was saying, realistically, a win for him, this is my opinion, a win for him would be, getting charged. I'm not gonna say it like that. What's really gonna happen is that, dude, he's gonna get charged. He's gonna get charged. So a win is only getting like 7 years and only doing like 4 years. That's just my personal opinion. My personal opinion, 7 years, get out, do 4 on good behavior, get out, boom. 4 years, you're not gone too much. You're not gone. That's not a substantial amount compared to what you could be facing. We could be facing like 15 to life, so to potentially only do 4 on good behavior and still be involved in your kids' lives. You come out like celebrate like a hero that you are. And that's just my point of view, is what I say, like that's what's realistic. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you just remove, because that's what the court's gonna be, right? Like, and that's another thing too. We was just saying, right? As I adjust my vacation hat, that's another thing too. Is like it depends on what type of court or trial is gonna be proceeding and going to. Like, will he be going to a specific judge? Like, is he gonna present himself in front of a judge, or is he gonna stand before a jury of his peers, 12 juries, right? Because what would be fucking super cool? It would be cool if it goes to a panel, right, or a jury of 12, and those 12 find him innocent, right? That'd be super cool. Fucking get him out. But again, it's not realistic. So when we're talking about this case that's going to be ongoing for sure, it's what's realistic versus what we want. You know, there's a balance between the two, and I say free the man, but that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's gonna have their own opinions. Obviously, a lot of people might not even agree with me or fucking give me all these stats and everything. I'm not here to break down laws or say whether you know what I'm saying, like whether it was just or not. I'll leave that for your own interpretation. I'm just giving you my opinion. Again, as a father, a lot of people's opinions will differ from when you don't have kids. And I know a lot of people say that. Again, myself included, I used to say that shit. I'm hypocritical as fuck. You see it. I used to be like, it wouldn't. I feel like we would all think the same and everything like that. It's not. That's just the real. When you just feel, it just hits different when you're a parent. That's it, right? It just like reminds me of like, you know, like when you hear things happening to kids in general, whether it be like, you know, animal attacks, pit bull attacks, like the one that happened, you know, in King City or Greenfield, I forget from the top of my head, but with the 5 pit bulls, it's just like, oh, I didn't even want to like see the photo of that family, you know. So it's like really, even to this day, I don't want to see that photo, you know. I feel for them, but all those things, they hit a little bit more different and they hit harder when, you know, when you are a parent. You know what I'm saying? And I know it sounds hypocritical as fuck because I'm over here talking about being on vacation without my kid. But listen, hear me out again. Vacations don't happen too often. We're gonna be back to we're not gone too far. You know what I'm saying? We're only leaving them for a few days. You know what I'm saying? So that's not making me a bad parent, right? Anyway, okay. So moving on from that, I listened to this the Drink Champs podcast, the most recent episode that came out with the game. First of all, 4 hours, way too fucking long. Way too fucking long. But it's drinking it and everybody's having a good time and everything. I'll be down to do it. I'm a drink champ for sure. Especially this vacation I'm about to go to, all inclusive. I'm about to be a drink champ ×2. Okay? Definitely. So I would love to be on Drink Champs. Man, hey, Nori, hit me up. I'll be on Drink Champs tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. Whenever you want, I'll be there the next day. I definitely want to do it. But just because like the Drink Champs episodes, whether you stream them and right, you listen to them like on whatever platform that you stream them, or you're watching on YouTube, it just feels like it's a good fucking time, right? It's just you and the boys or whoever it is. It just feels like they're all kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes it cool shit. And of course, the guests make up a big part of it. Like if you have a good guest, it's gonna make a good episode. But the things that make them the good episode is the conversations and the topics that they bring up. And the reason why I want to talk about this one is because, like I said, the 4-hour one, that's a long episode. 4 hours is long, yo. But there was a lot of like gems and funny moments and definitely some topics, you know what I'm saying? Some quotables and some things that, you know, are going to spark up some debates and conversations on it. The key things that I took away from that episode was 1, 4 hours is fucking long. How they were able to drink the entire time and only have like 2 piss breaks is amazing. Shouts out to y'all for that. That's number 1. And also they might have, and it could have just been edited, but from what I was listening to, it was just like two piss breaks. So 4 hours, amazing. That's a lot of drinking. That's a lot of fucking drinking, and it's just like liquor mainly, like 80% just liquor. Definitely looking forward to doing that. So that was the first takeaway. The second takeaway was I feel like we underappreciate. I was gonna say I was stuck between undervalue and underestimate, but that's not what it was. We underappreciate the game as like his stature in hip hop, his music, his place. I don't know what he's just underrated. No, he's just underappreciated. I don't think everybody's ever been like, you know what I mean? Like game ain't shit, because that's not true. I just feel like he's been underappreciated. I mean, they talked about the Super Bowl. Why I did not even know this was a debate in and of itself. I didn't know people were saying this or talking about this, but he was saying like how people were saying that he was left out. I didn't feel that way. I don't know. That's not what, when you hear about the lineup and while watching the performance, that's not like one of the first go-to things that I thought of, right? I wasn't like, yo, where's Game at? That's not what I thought of. But maybe because I don't know. I just didn't even think about it. You know, I don't even know if I have a specific answer for that. But they chopped that up. They broke all that down, and you find out that there's even more roots and history to that. And was it intentional? I don't know. That's up for interpretation, and that's up for you guys to debate if you do listen to the episode or watch it. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, they start getting into like, talking about that old school beef, not even old school, but that, that fucking very well documented beef and thing that he had going on with 50 and, everybody else. And you listen to that and what I thought was cool, about it was that the layers of growth and in between all that. Because you got to a point where they're just like, everything's good. Like, they're cool. I'm not saying they're like homies or anything like that, but to go from like from dissing each other to 300 bars and running, which is a good fucking track, by the way, to straight up shootouts and being on beefs. Like, you remember the old school DVD beefs? Beefs 1, Volume 1, Volume 2? Beefs, like hip hop shit? You used to be able to rent that shit from Blockbusters. True story. I did that. And so to be able to go from that, bro, to like, being able to be, somewhat cordial and understand each other in a way, but, not knowing that, there's never going to be 100% buddy and back to it like it used to be because, bro, someone lost their lives on that shootout, I want to say, yeah, someone got shot for sure. But you can't come back from maybe, I'm not even going to say you can't because, they're like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool to see that. I'll definitely like that growth in that. And then what else did you bring up? Well, they were talking about comparisons of musics and everything. And again, I feel like we underappreciate the game. And he was retired. He's like 42 now. And he was retired for a minute, but then like doing like, solo tracks or just singles and shit. And now I want to say a whole nother album on the way. And, he's got that track Easy with Kanye on the Donda 2. And they're breaking that down. And he talks about how that was, how that came about, his verse. Like, they broke down the whole verse and everything. And we actually talked about when Marcos Aguilar was here. Shout out to Marcos, bro. When he was here last time, we were breaking that down too. Like, we're talking about the game and how underrated he is. And we were saying like how one of the knocks on it, if any, if you want to consider it a knock, but they were saying like, I'm saying his thing is like he does a lot of name dropping in his music, And ironically, when they were talking about that on the Drink Champs episode, they were saying like how he didn't name drop at all. Like, that's rare. Like, they were saying like, yo, what's up with the name drops? Like, they actually like the name drops, you know what I'm saying? And it turns out there was. We just didn't read between the lines or break apart the bars word for word, you know what I'm saying? Cadence for cadence. And apparently there was some. So it's cool, bro. Like, that's not another thing too is like that's not the first time him and Ye have worked together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about, if you can go back all the way to the documentary, fucking you can go back to Wouldn't Get Far. I want to say The Devil's Advocate, maybe he was on that one, but he's been there. That's the thing about Kanye too. Like, he's been, he's had his hand and his finger in a lot of music, especially when it comes to being an influence. Like, yo, when College Dropout, Late Registration, 808s and Heartbreaks, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like those albums, and I'll even say Life of Pablo too, because I actually like Life of Pablo. I feel like that's one of his best albums, even though they say like the first 3 are his best. I feel like Life of Pablo is one of his best projects ever. Best, the amount of influence and the trickle effect that he had for like other artists and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just, again, that's we're talking about a different time version of Kanye. And I know he has all this stuff going on right now with Kim and the divorce proceedings and everything, but like, I know he'll be wilding. I'm not making excuses for the dude, but yo, did y'all watch that listening party thingy that he had? Come on, man. Like, it looked good. It sounded good. It, like, the way he's able to portray like a vision and have it there and had us anticipating. I'm not gonna say us because maybe a lot of people weren't, but like, it got me. He got me, bro. I was watching. I was on fucking YouTube waiting because it was like 2 hours late. I was waiting and I watched it, and I'm glad I did. Like, it was a good show. It was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could feel away how you feel about the dude. I'm not talking about all this other shit, but that, as far as the influence and getting people to get that attention on him. It's just like, bro, I'm not saying I'm a diehard. I don't even follow him on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just fuck with the project and the mindset and everything. And did y'all watch episode 3 yet? Did you even watch it? Episode 3 was dope. Episode 3 was dope. I think my favorite one out of the Genius trilogy 3-part thing on Netflix. Probably, I want to say my favorite part at two. My two favorite parts was and I want to say it was episode 2, but it was when he was at home in Chicago in his mom's apartment, house, whatever it is. But he's with his mom and in the kitchen, and they're like, she's just talking to him, breaking everything down, talking to him about his confidence, and she says the giant. Damn, I wish I remembered the exact words she was using or the phrase and the sentences that she was using, but she was talking about the giant, how how people see the giant, but how the giant sees him. I forget what it is, but breaking all that down and talking about his confidence. And then that whole scene, bro, it was cool. You could see like just that mother and son bond, you know what I'm saying? And like still like her mom playing a 2-role part, like being a mom and a dad. And I talked about it too with Julio. But then also my other favorite part, and maybe that was episode 1, this was episode 2. Episode 2 was the making or the recording session of Slow Jams with Jamie Foxx in Jamie Foxx's studio. Man, maybe because I love that song so much, but that fucking scene was so dope to me because we were able to see it. Because I've heard about it so many times. Jay-Z, sorry. Jay-Z. Jamie Foxx had talked about that shit, like breaking it down story for like the whole story, like was, breaking everything down in detail and everything. So you had heard about it so many times and you've heard it like stay the same consistently on different platforms. I'm talking about Jamie Foxx here, right? So he's always told the story and I've always envisioned it, imagined it, but to physically see it there on episode 2 was just like, man, that shit was fucking dope. You know what I mean? And to finally get the finished product, like I'm talking about, I still play that song to this day. Deontay Wilder voice. To this day. So that was probably like my favorite 2 parts from the trilogy so far. And yeah, I recommend y'all to watch it, even if you're not a fan of him, even if you've just been annoyed of him lately, or even if you know what I'm saying, you might not be like, man, I can't rock with them with anything like that. I would say just watch it just to get some motivation and maybe even some inspiration from it. So you know what I'm saying? Plus, what else are you doing? You got time. You're not doing anything. You're watching this. You're listening to this. You got time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got time. If you can listen or watch this, you got time. Come on. Okay. Look, again, I'm on vacation mode. All right. I'm going to wrap this one up already. But I will say, if all goes well, I don't want to jinx it or anything like that, but we have a pretty big guest coming on. Pretty big guest. And I'm excited for this next episode. Well, I'm excited for this next guest. I'm anticipating it very much. And I'll just say, the power of word is real. It holds value. It holds truth. And there's a lot of power that comes with it. So you speak things into the universe and you speak things into existence, or like as the word that gets thrown out way too many times, in my opinion, nowadays is manifest. But maybe they're right. Maybe just you speak it and you're manifesting it. You get those affirmations in you and you're saying you're going to do these things and, and eventually just, if you're fortunate enough to see them through, man, So again, the next guest will be a good one. So hope you all enjoy this one. Just know, like I said, when this one comes out, did I show you guys? Did you see this straw hat that I got for $13.99 at Target? Anyway, you know what? You don't even worry about that. That's besides the point. Vacation mode. All right. Y'all stay safe. I'm going to be sipping margaritas at 9 a.m., getting my tan on, and I'll try not to fight security. I'll say that. Anyway, y'all stay safe. Peace.